from a creative stance.
Okay, I think like Shuf, I love Kanye. I've always been a fan of his music. I've been a fan of like him as a producer even before his music. Like I followed him when he dropped. Huge fan of the first couple of albums, but
We established you're a fan. Give me the zip.
he has too much of an ego. He really does have too much.
Well,
of
in
an
order for you to be the best, you actually kind of need an ego.
No, too much of an ego. Too much of anything.
I don't believe in that.
Really?
I don't believe in that.
Like,
I'm talking about Kanye West here.
yeah, I'm talking about Kanye West.
I'm talking about Kanye West. No, I'm sorry.
Sure. Some people
that guy's creativity is not going to be appreciated till he's gone.
Okay.
When it comes to music and when it comes to fashion.
Listen.
Okay. Well, let me step back for a second. All right. So
like
his Yeezy line, his Yeezy clothing line. I get the whole '90s vibe that you want to keep pushing. I get it, but it's not for everybody. And most of the people who are just copying that, and like because Kim Kardashian is wearing his stuff and stuff like that, so that's a lot of people are buying it. But if you're talking about shoes, the reason why Yeezys are more available now than before is because he wanted to take that Jordan throne of saying, yes, I can do the same thing, and I can cover everybody's feet with Yeezys, and I can play on the same level.
Cool. Bro, like I think he went beyond that in the sense of you see moms wearing Yeezys now, like everybody's wearing Yeezys,
and this is why he like. If he's going to keep re-releasing everything. Look, he's going to re-release all the old ones that he released that was basic limited editions. All that's going to be dropped again. Why? Because we know that there's a market for it. So it's going to come back. He's going to want everybody to be on it.
Never had a problem with that. Okay.
Well, let's do the intro while we're doing this.
Wait. We haven't done the intro.
Oh, we haven't done the intro at all. We even look at it.
Good evening, my friend.
I swear to God. Good evening or good morning.
Well, that's actually good evening. It's a great evening.
We've been here for like 5 hours.
Yeah.
Whoa, hold up, man. Wait. What's happening? What's good? Welcome to Pass the Kabsa. It's Bushamsi. Go with your point. What's up?
What it do? Okay, listen. Kanye. Going back to Kanye. His music, I think, like he was good and great, and then it went off too much of an extreme. It kind of fell off a cliff in a sense that he's too experimental, maybe. Not a bad thing, do your thing. The clothes though, I give him props for the clothes because he managed to gate crash an industry, even though like he has no business whatsoever being in fashion. He has no business whatsoever creating like the best, not the best, but the famous, the most ubiquitous sneaker that you see like literally daily around the world.
Well, okay. I think this depends on how you digest Kanye West.
I digest him straight. With a cold glass of water after.
No, what I mean by that is, so when I listen to Kanye West, I don't compare him to old Kanye West. I expect something different from Kanye West every single time, except that last album, Gas to Go.
That's what I'm saying.
It got to go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Stop telling me you won Gospel of the Year. That wasn't even a gospel album, okay? That was just like something.
And I think even the Yeezys one was just like...
I'm sorry, the Yeezys one was super cute.
Was that super black?
That was... I know what you mean. When it's... what was it?
Black Slave Skinhead or something?
Yeah, Black Skinhead or something?
It was way too loud. The whole album was way too loud.
Exactly. Yeah. That was an amazing sound. And that sound was also like taken by a lot of people.
Not for me.
It's not for you. Yeah. Again, I don't look at Kanye. It's like when you look at a painting, okay, from the same artist. You don't try to compare it to the other one. You try to see what this artist is feeling at the time and what is he trying to tell you and what he's trying to give you. So that's me,
that's a good way of looking at it.
Every single album that I get from him, and usually like most artists, this is how I see it. I'm not gonna spend time trying to compare it to something old because then it loses its value. I'm trying to see what this artist is trying to give me and what he's trying to tell me. Whether it's painting, whether it's design, whether it was interior design, whatever it is.
No offense. Like seriously, honestly, no offense. But you don't think the guy needs to, stay on his meds?
Okay, first off, saying no offense to who, me or someone else?
To people who actually have meds. Like
again, you're not
you're
not in his shoe, and you don't see his day to day. So it's easy for us to say he should be on this or should be on that. I'm gonna give
easy for us to say he's crazy.
I'm gonna give you a good line that I heard from. That's not a good line, but Lil Wayne said something that I thought was very interesting. He was saying the time when he had his run, when he was basically sipping lean the whole time and he was out of his head most of the time.
Okay.
He's like, I dropped some of the best music of my life, and then everybody said, "Hey, he's drinking too much lean. Oh, that cup is gonna kill him. That cup is gonna kill him. He needs to stop," and all that stuff. And he's like, then when I started stopping, my music changed. And he's like, and honestly, I wish Double Cup Away would come back.
Okay.
Because you don't know what's going on in the artist's life, so it's easy for us to predict things.
See, a
But
lot of artists have their process, right? A lot of people have their process. A lot of people need to go through certain rituals or do certain things, whether it's physical or mental or whatever it is. They need to do like get into the mind state of before they create. So I don't know what his process is. Kanye's process is. I think for a lot of the time it worked for him. I think the fact that he's a billionaire now, forget about him marrying Kim and all of that money, all of that jazz from that point of view. His fashion and his contribution to shoes, consolidates him as something that's really much bigger than just music. He's
an artist.
Yeah, this guy's a proper multi-dimensional artist, like the type that you don't really see that often. Also nowadays, I can't really think of anyone who compares. Who compares?
That's hard.
Like I can say Elon Musk in a different sense
Oh no,
of being multi-dimensional and good at multiple
no.
things.
And what he's doing right now, I mean, okay, so Nike's doing deals with Drake, with Travis Scott, with everybody else.
Sure.
I understand that's a deal. What he has with Adidas is something totally different. And that one is actually like much stronger in the sense of him having control and in terms of revenue.
Bro, he built $1 billion like resale shoe industry. What the hell?
Well, he did pay attention to resale, and it was part of the plan. And
See,
the
that's
plan
what I'm
worked-
talking
yeah,
about.
And the plan worked
That's what I'm
perfectly.
talking about. Like the whole StockX, the whole sneakerheads movement.
Yeah, but StockX was a different thing. StockX was different. I
Yeah.
mean, like reselling, when you wanted to, like till today, if you're looking for shoes, if you have a trustworthy someone that you can get to, it's usually eBay.
Yeah, but
If it's not stores, it's eBay. Go ahead.
I mean, he jumped on the wave of, hey, I know that I'm going to drop a very limited edition from these because the price is going to go up and people are going to chase them and it's going to be a clout thing. And that's what he started with. And,
But
then it moved on to clothing the people,
Yeah,
clothing
okay.
the masses.
Yes, it's easy to say that now based on what we saw, but in actuality, what happened was the first Yeezy drop. The first Yeezy drop that sold out, everybody wanted it. And that's what was obvious. And the second drop, he had the same exact impact and basically it was all sold out. Everybody was fighting for it and so on and so on and so on. So I think when he wore the Adidas Ultra Boost, the 1.0s, the triple
The
whites,
white ones, yeah.
that when it's sold out, and it's like, oh, okay, I have something way bigger here. And then he moved with that.
Because the guys,
ran with that.
The guy's a fashion.
And also, there's certain people, like I don't want to mention the names,
Trendsetter.
in Adidas, who was at that time the VP of marketing. He was also super, super smart. And he knew exactly how to get Kanye on board and what to do with the whole brand. And both of them combined together with their creativity, they did something really, really amazing for everything. At the same time, I'm still against the whole re-release the same shoe 1,000 times.
It's money, man. At the end of the day, it's a money grab.
I know you're gonna make your money either way, but you need to have like, okay, make your triple whites and make your triple blacks. Okay, the triple blacks are very, very like coveted. A lot of people want the all black shoe. That's why they're not gonna make it a normal thing there for you to pick up every single day. They might give you the triple whites every now and then for like a long time as a stock that's available all the time. But the other ones, I don't know. He's dropping a shoe like next week. I think.
He's dropping a shoe every other week. Yeah.
Yeah, until the end of the year, he's gonna be dropping at least like 6-7 more.
I just hope he keeps the church out of the music. He keeps, honestly, man.
Yeah, man, let him do whatever he wants,
Like,
man. That's
yeah,
his business.
Nah, man, as a fan, like this is the sound like I'd like to hear. Honestly,
I know.
see, I just want
Whatever he delivers,
You'll take it with
no.
happiness.
I'm gonna.
You'll accept it.
I'll accept. Of course, I'll have to accept it. I can't tell him, hey, sir,
No,
sir.
you know, I did not accept 808s. I never accepted 808s.
Never said it.
I never heard it.
Hold on, let me call Kanye West real quick and tell him like, Shams,
No,
he does
but
not accept.
as like back at
Let me tell him his multi-million-dollar fucking
Grammy-
every money that he
no, no.
made off of it, his Grammys,
It was Grammy
his
winning record.
merchandise, everything that you did, Kanye. By the way, Shams, he doesn't approve.
No, I just don't approve of that one.
I'm sorry,
album.
that was a great album.
I never heard
That
it.
was you never heard it?
I never heard it.
Then why are you saying you don't approve of it?
I never accepted it because of the sound, the whole what was it? Autotune, the whole autotune sound. Like I has a problem with the autotune sound.
You listen to artists who use autotune all the time.
I know, not willingly.
So you're a hypocrite. That's what you're telling me.
No. I don't prefer that sound. I avoid that sound. Like I don't listen to T-Pain and like who else?
So you don't listen
Migos,
to the people who actually
Future.
had an impact on the whole hip hop scene. Is that what you're telling me?
There are certain waves that people like and other people don't like. I am not a fan of the autotune wave.
Okay.
Simple as that.
Well, it's not only autotune. You can listen to the lyrics of the autotune. Right, there are tracks that are just gibberish. I agree with that. But there's still artists who deliver you great music with autotune. Travis Scott, one of them.
Our 10, yeah, sure. Fair enough.
That's
Travis,
what I'm telling you. You listen to people who use auto-tune.
Yeah, but not. I feel maybe Travis Scott has taken it to a much further level than
It's
it
a
was.
sound.
Yeah.
It's a sound. He knew how to make that sound
Like
work
he
for himself.
innovated it in a much,
Who else? Who else?
T-Pain. Honestly, T-Pain
Oh
is the
God,
one that
my
comes to
chest
mind.
really hurts, man. All this weather changing.
You know what? By the way, like you really did miss out on like the meats that we did during the weekends.
I was there.
Yeah, but you missed out on the ribs.
Shamsi, I was there. I ate.
You ate flakhir?
Yes, you took a picture of me eating.
No, I thought
You sent me the picture.
I thought you were just supporting Turkey.
Oh,
when he was feeding himself. At the end.
I was just staring at him.
Yeah.
So he doesn't stay
You're
alone.
like, good job, Terks. Yeah.
So last weekend, Terks, our chef Terks, basically killed it again.
Our esteemed chef.
Esteemed chef.
Yes. With a bunch of like ribs and what was it? Lamb shanks. Oh, wow. So it was slow cooked for like 12 hours. The guy was like setting up.
It was not 12 hours. Okay,
he's setting up from noon.
No, he wasn't. He didn't get there at like 4 p.m.
Oh, Allah.
They started really late.
No,
I think it was slow cooked for 8 hours.
Good enough.
Yeah, because like nobody ate till 3 in the morning.
2 was it?
2:30 we started. Yeah, 2 o'clock we started putting it down the place.
Like
and
people
everything.
passed out. We had to wake them up.
Exactly.
People went home.
Because they passed out because the food was actually really good.
Yeah.
I'm just bullshitting. It was 3 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, but we had to call people back home. Like
no, but Terks like. Oof,
you did agree. That's why we missed
amazing.
We wanted to give him some props.
Terks has things to attend to today, so he decided to ignore the hell out of us
and not answer us.
Which is really awful.
Yeah.
I expect more from my friends.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't expect anything from my friends, but I act like I do. I don't trust y'all. I'm gonna tell you right now. So, how you been?
It's good.
What you been popping?
Had an interesting weekend. Had an extracurricular work activity.
Oh, nice.
That I had to take care of. Out of the usual. Ended up.
Is it something that you can speak about?
Not really.
Then don't mention it.
But it was fun. Like it was a fun thing that I did on the weekend.
We already wasted I don't know how many minutes of people's time.
We haven't been wasting time.
Look, this has been recording for a long time, so I honestly have no idea at what minute we are wasting people's time. But you look like you.
Okay,
20, sounds like you're wasting my time.
I think 20 minutes in of wasting time.
We're not even 20 minutes in. I think it's way less.
What's been going on with
I don't care about the minutes right now, Bushamsi. I'm not arguing minutes. All right, man. How's your week, man? Tell me your bullshit ass week. Terks is not here to protect you today. I'm on you.
I know. No, it was an alright week. I felt like it was productive and useful. Had a lot of family time. Had a lot of good work stuff done. Had some.
Hey, yo, who cares? Listen. All right,
wow. So very nice.
like this boring week of yours.
Yes.
Keep it to yourself, homie.
Thank you so much.
I have something that I want to ask you for a long, long time. Please now, look, me and you, we disagree a lot on things.
Yes, we do.
Respectfully and disrespectfully.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna ask you a question. I'd like your input in it. And I know this question I wanted to ask you actually for a while, but Terks would basically hate me every time I go into this kind of field. But since it's only me and you, baby.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yep.
I'm so lucky.
Yes.
Okay.
Stop. Stop.
Shoot me.
You're not lucky.
Yeah. What's up? Tell me.
So this question, I had this conversation with someone a while back.
Okay.
And I think me and you discussed it once or twice before. I don't really recall because we talk about so many things. But I want to ask you, since we're doing the podcast and everything, and we're somewhat involved in media outside of the podcast, and I wanted your input on this. And listeners, you can grab each other's hands and sing Kumbaya while we do this.
Kumbaya.
Not you. You're not a listener. You're here.
Is that how they sing Kumbaya?
Right. Is the news media influencing society, or is it a reflection of society? Oh, look at you pondering.
Ooh. Again, say that again.
Oh, look at he's staring in the distance.
The hair is just stood on the back of my neck.
I see you staring into the distance.
Okay.
By the way, that's a wall. Like, there's nothing past that.
Nothing beyond it.
I'm asking you again. Is the news media influencing society, or is it a reflection of society?
It's definitely influencing society. But it claims, it tries to become a reflection or a mirror of society. So, but is it influencing society? Definitely yes. Like, not even a doubt there. So that leads to another question. Mass media, was that the question?
just news media overall. News media specifically.
Media. Okay.
Yeah, not like
So when did
random stuff.
when did news media start? Like I'm
Oh, well, we're going back in time.
going back in time.
All right, let me get my boots.
So
all right, hold on. Where's my time travel boots? There we go.
The first newspapers. Don't quote me on this. But
Then why are we going back in time?
No. The first newspapers I think appeared in England in the 1800s, right? And the point of them was to kind of highlight what was going on in the city. So skip 100 years, and newspapers are now an established thing. You know, newspapers are something that you find in many cities and reflect, what's going on, occurrences, blah blah blah. So starting the 1920s, I think there was a guy called Edward Bernays, and this guy was the father of public relations.
Oh, Ed.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Ed figured out a way of kind of using the news media to kind of move society, or change the perception of society, influence society in certain issues in order to kind of serve the agenda of the government.
Okay.
Nowadays, we know that as propaganda. So
or news media.
Exactly. So World War I, World War II, and World War II, you saw that and come into play by, they're really bad and we're so good. Now we're not denying that.
هم كخة.
We're not saying كلكم كخة. Yeah, the argument is كلكم كخة.
بس احنا احسن ناس.
ايوه احنا احسن ناس. بس هم كخة. احنا ما ندخل اصلا. So basically what that led to was a consensus being built, and news media being the gatekeeper to the consensus. There was views that are allowed to be aired and views that are not allowed to be aired. And who gets to decide what is allowed and not allowed? News media. So if I can't talk about a subject in the news because there are certain people in the news that are not allowing me to talk about the subject, that tells me that there are certain subjects that are open for discussion and certain subjects that are not open for discussion. Now, news media always, opens doors for discussions, opens doors for negotiations according to different priorities and different needs at different times. So nowadays, the interesting part. Yes.
I was about to fall asleep, bro.
The interesting part is about nowadays, the narrative is no longer controlled by the news media themselves.
But the individuals.
Because there are individuals that are able to get their views amplified. Before we get to the people who own. You have platforms nowadays, social media, internet, forums, blogs, all of that stuff. The door has been opened for alternative views to be presented. And the news media cannot do jack shit about this.
That's good.
Okay, because people are now free to choose their own, sources of news. The problem lies in how do you differentiate between, news that is actually legitimate or news that is actually true and news that is not. This is the problem of today, like 2020, for the past 4 years. And we've seen plenty of examples of that.
I think 2010 going forward.
2010
going forward, I think.
Yeah, and that's when social media kicked into high gear. And that's when it started being a voice that changes the narrative.
Yes.
Because around that time.
It was blogs, I think, at that time.
It was blogs, it was Twitter, it was Facebook, all of those platforms coming together because what would happen is you'd turn on the news and you'd see something. And then you'd go online and you'd see something else completely different. That cognitive dissonance that happened between those two news medias, that has, I think, weakened the power of traditional media, your newspapers, your TV channels, and empowered a lot of alternative channels, online only, outlets, vlogs, people with, huge followings on Twitter and blah, 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 to kind of offer a different point of view. So now you have kind of like a conflict between the two over people's hearts and souls and minds.
I love how it was hearts and souls and minds.
Yeah, because that's actually what's happening.
So, okay.
Questions now.
No.
All
right, let's go. Here's my question to you.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think that with the changing times and how news media is basically they lost their edge and their leadership also, do you blame it on the social media aspect and the quote-unquote fake news? Or do you say that these news medias didn't know how to capitalize and actually provide better information?
They don't know how to capitalize because you have examples, I think, of news outlets that have managed to, adapt with the times and become digital only fronts or digital heavy fronts. And the New York Times comes to mind. New York Times is a standard in the States for them, but how they were able to turn into the digital market from that perspective should be a case study for a lot of other newspapers. Okay, they have a lot of data analytics. They have a lot of video reporting. They have not judging the content itself, because I think the content is
trash. It's trash. It's trash. No, let's be honest. Let's be honest.
No,
let's be honest.
It is. It is. I'll tell you what it is. It is the imperial mouthpiece of the United States. The elite point of view is reflected in it. The elite point of view will always be reflected in it. They might hate on trends. They might hate on people. They might hate on events. But it will always remain the imperial mouthpiece.
Do you know what's the problem here? The problem is
it's the consensus.
Those companies ruin journalism.
Okay.
So now if you're a journalist and you need to work in a certain area, you need to follow a certain narrative. Blogs were a great way for journalists to actually speak their own mind, just like social media. But let's be honest, even social media, some journalists are actually controlled on what they say, they can't say, and so on and so on.
No, but there's always been a consensus of issues that you can discuss and cannot discuss. For example, in the States, for a long time, if you discuss Palestine, you get shut out of the media. You get shut out of the media, simple as that. Because people who don't want you to discuss Palestine are numerous within the media. And they really don't want to hear your point of view.
Controlling the narrative.
Exactly. They don't want anybody to hear your point of view. So, and this goes on till today.
So why... I'm sorry, guys. Like I have like coughs, dry coughs, like crazy.
Dog hair in your chest.
That's صحة. So I'm okay. I'm gonna tell you my point of view.
No, you had a question, so why?
No. Put my question aside because the question is gonna be repetitive. Okay. It's not gonna take us nowhere. We don't have the right. Go ahead. What?
Just to get back to your point, I think local, regional news organizations have plenty of opportunities to grow and take back that mantle of, that people will actually go and listen to you by actually refining their methods to talk to the current generation. I don't know. I don't remember the last time I bought a newspaper. I don't remember the last time I actually grabbed the newspaper and flipped through it. I honestly do not. I get my news through a certain source. You need to be there.
Did you ever go to Sharq Al-Awsat website?
I don't recall that I do.
You know why you don't? I know you don't. Because if you did, the first thing that came out of my mouth was like, "What the hell is this trash?"
Is it terrible?
It's really terrible.
In what sense?
Oh, it's to browse through it. It's awful.
Okay.
I'm talking from my phone. I didn't try it on my desktop, but from my phone, oh my god!
I don't even know if they have an application or not.
I'm not even looking for applications.
Yeah.
I basically have them all lined up on me.
Exactly.
Here's the thing. Locally, I can't really speak much on that because I can see that it's still growing, and knowing the people that we know in industries, we see the change that they're trying to take and the approach they're trying to take.
It's not even newspapers, even TV.
Even TV.
Yeah.
But TV actually it's a different direction than what it is. Like if you're looking, TV it's a bigger thing for our generation, but there are still people who just still go by newspapers and they stick with newspapers.
Yeah.
But as in for the future, I think not even TV anymore. I think it's going to have to be our phones. They have to come straight to our phones.
It's already there.
But the biggest issue that we have, I'm talking about me and you, is that we know the power of the New York Times, Washington Post, and all these morons. Okay, the reason I say morons is because I truly hate all of them. Because they went through the clickbait route really, really strong, and the whole SEOs, and they took that route, and basically inside an article they have to drop in 3-4 hot links or words that will basically put them out there. All their clickbaiting tweets to get you to go and read and all that BS.
Well, what's it about? It's about getting money. It's about getting paid.
It's about getting money, but you're losing your credibility. Well, see, right there. You said it right there. See that gasp you just had?
Yeah.
And you stared into that monkey that's behind you?
I do.
The reason for that is because this is what we lost. Now we can't take y'all serious. And that goes to Bloomberg. That goes to all of them. All of them are on the same platform. All of them. They're just talking. They're just putting words on paper to get the clicks. And I'll tell you here. One time there was this, I'm trying to remember. Was it Ahmed? I forgot his last name.
Okay.
But at Ahmed on Twitter.
Okay.
Great guy. Saudi. I think he does the Real Bureau. I think so. So he put an article, I think it was from Financial Times. I don't remember, to be honest. Anyway, it said one thing. It was behind a paywall.
I think he used to report for the Financial Times.
I don't remember. Anyway, it was behind a paywall.
Or the Wall Street Journal. Probably.
Anyway, I signed up and everything to go read what's going on. I opened it up. It was just a bunch of gibberish and that quote. That's it. What are you doing?
Shuf, there's multiple angles to this. Okay, one of the angles
let's knock them all out.
Yeah, one of the angles is at the end of the day, these guys want your money. Okay, so that's why you went.
But you're supposed to give me the news. I come to you for honesty.
This is why you went inside up, okay? Because they want your money. This is why they have the paywalls now, okay? Number two is there are agendas in the news media, and we know this from a long time ago. And I just gave the Palestine example because this is something that I've personally seen for a long, long time.
It's like 60, 70-year agenda.
Yeah, and sometimes those agendas get flared up because, there's a certain politician that we don't like, and we see that he likes somebody else. So you know what? Let's jump on that boat. So I know that at the end of the day, whether it's true or not, a lot of the news is filtered. And it's filtered through a certain point of view in order for you to believe a certain thing.
So basically, it goes back to it's not really a reflection.
It is a reflection from a certain point of view. They want you to look through their eyes.
Fox News.
Yeah. Fox News wants you to see the world through the conservative mindset. WP, NYT, all of those guys, they want you to see the world through the liberal, imperial, we're just trying to do some good in the world point of view, which I don't believe for a second. Because
none of us believe it.
Yeah, exactly, because I know better.
You're speaking locally. You're not speaking internationally, because you go anywhere international, everyone will tell you, like, America's the Florida of the world. Like, you big yourself up the same way Florida is bigging itself up, but in reality, it's a totally different thing.
Florida man is in the Oval Office, like... Yeah, that's already happening, bro.
Again, I don't really care for their politics. I care is when you start mentioning my name, when you start pointing fingers at me, and you start talking on my behalf.
Again, why? Because it's driving views. It's driving.
Well, it's not, but again, is it? That's why I ask you: is it a reflection or is it an influence? I don't think it's ever a reflection anymore. It's all just straight influence.
In the past, especially within the social media age, it's definitely influence. Reflection, it might have been a reflection.
Totally disagree. I think in the last 20 years, before social media,
it might have been a reflection at that very, very early stage of social media's launch. The first 2 years or the first year when all of these big social media, your Twitters, your Facebooks, and all of these launched, at that point, there was a small gap of a couple of months or a year where it was actually a reflection. And then brands and companies managed to figure out how to monetize their stuff. And that's when, the bots jumped in. That's when the trolls popped up. That's when the clickbait started being everywhere. That's when hashtags, started being trash. Like the whole thing broke.
Just like the hashtags were being bought.
Yeah, there we go. Exactly. يعني تحولت إلى something that I cannot go through and get something accurate out of. So for me, that's when it lost that grip. And I think that happens with every... So that happens with every new technology. Like it happened with the radio. It happened with telephones, bro. Like they started calling you and at all times of day trying to sell you stuff. Bro, I don't want to buy a new vacuum.
STC calls me till today. I still get this weird number. I answer, hi, yada yada from STC. We have this package for you. Click.
Yeah, I mean, and if you واحد, I'm not even kidding, man. There's this one guy that calls me every single month trying to sell me an apartment in Dubai. And every single month, I tell him that I'm not interested in buying. Exactly. Like, bro, I'm not buying your... And then he calls me again because apparently I'm on some damn mailing list or something. And I keep getting these calls. Like,
sucks to be you, bro.
Let me
go back to this point. So don't you feel like right now international media is acting like social media influencers?
Well, they're trying to jump on the wave because the social media influencers are getting all the views.
See, now you proved to me one thing that I want the listeners to understand. I want them to understand that we actually do read things that are abroad the whole time. And we do pay attention to what's going on.
Who said that we didn't?
Oh, it's not about what we're saying. I'm setting up the narrative.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So...
okay. Like I thought somebody asked, like, yo, you don't know what's going on.
So, back to my point. Do you trust the news that you get from abroad? From international media, let's put it that way. Let's not just say abroad. From international media. Do you trust? Or should I just answer on behalf of you because I already know your answers?
Trust nothing of what you hear and half of what you see.
I'm just giving you a biscuit.
Okay.
just to give you
Shuf, it's not about if I trust it or not. Everything from every source I get, I am aware that there's an agenda and narrative trying to be pushed behind. Because if I'm getting something from the US, I know that, for example, there's somebody in the US trying to push a certain narrative or agenda. If I'm getting something from the BBC, I know for a fact that somebody in the UK state is trying to push a certain narrative. And that's not good or bad. It's not good or bad.
I know it's bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm saying no,
it's bad.
It's not good or bad.
If you're pushing an agenda, it's bad.
It's not good or bad. Why? Because at the end of the day, everybody's trying to sell their story. At the end of the day, everybody's trying to...
So you're saying it's okay for everybody to be a con artist?
No, I'm saying everybody has a right to be a con artist.
Oh, really?
Yes. But I as a consumer, need to let the people around me know to not trust anybody around them. This is the problem. The problem is the ignorance of the average reader, of the average consumer. Somebody who doesn't really pay attention to the news, somebody who just reads something every once in a while and he believes it because, it's the news and they know better. They don't see the machinations.
But that's not really human behavior. Human behavior is taking sides. So if you say, we need to educate the people, me and you know very well there's a lot of people who do not want to be educated by your BS. They want to stick to one side. They don't want things to change. So I don't see that we're like, we have to tell the people no, this is BS. No. If I'm supposed to trust you as an organization or as a media outlet to give me honest, pure news and let me decide. Stop shaking your head. No one can see you. All right, and let me decide for myself. I think I should not be following you. I should not be trusting what you have to say. I should not care for your journalists. I should not care about anything that you're supposed to give me.
When we see here, it's a problem. You know what's the problem?
Go ahead.
The problem is, with very little examples, a vast majority of the news industry is profit-driven.
True.
So if it's profit-driven, then I need you to buy. If I need you to buy, then I'm going to let my journalistic ethics, if they ever existed, be let down because, I need to make up these sales. I need to get these clicks,
See, that's the problem. See, when you chasing clicks.
So if you take out the profit motive out of it, the way I view it, the way I approach it is completely changed.
Okay, so should like Washington Times, New York, Sharq al-Awsat, all these should be owned by governments?
That's one way of doing it.
So they can be profitable at all times. But then
a lot of governments already do it.
Yes, I understand that.
Russia does it with Russia Today.
Do you trust Russia Today? Again, see what I mean?
See, I trust Russia Today less than I trust anybody else. I think, honestly, I love it. I enjoy watching it so much because they're trolls. That's what they are. They are really trolls.
Awesome trolls.
They're great.
Amazing.
Sometimes they're terrible.
Yeah, that's the cute part.
Yeah, but sometimes there's a little bit of truth with all the bullshit. And that's what makes them great trolls.
And that little truth is really big. It's not small truth. It's like really big truth.
But that's what makes them great trolls. That's what makes the Russians so good at what they do. Because they do give you a little bit of truth. And that makes you say, hey, yeah, I do believe it. I don't trust them Russians, bro. I don't trust them Russians for shit. Honestly. I actually read an interesting book.
What's the book?
I'm trying to remember the name.
So you didn't read it. You glanced at it.
No. I'll get you the name. But the book talked about how in Russia over the past 10 years, there's been a transformation in the type of politics that they do. So they went from the politics of today to the politics of something called the politics of eternity. Okay.
What's the politics of eternity?
And the basic idea of the shift is instead of focusing on problems you have here and today, you focus on problems that you always had. You focus on problems that you will always have, problems that you can never resolve.
Yeah, like suffering.
In a sense.
Yeah.
In a sense,
Do you know any Russians?
Not. I've been to Russia. I've met plenty of Russians there.
Y'all went to the World Cup, all right?
Yeah.
So you wouldn't hang out. You were tourists, all right? You were a tourist with tourists.
I actually met
them. They're like, I've been hanging out with Russians the whole time. We've been balling.
Nope.
All right, stop.
That didn't happen, to be honest.
Jay knows this Russian girl.
Okay.
All right. And that girl was saying that, why do you guys get sad? You guys get happy a lot, you get sad a lot. Why? It's just life. Just live and die. Zero emotions, zero feelings.
Okay.
Zero hope.
And that's a problem.
Yes.
That's not proper.
It's not healthy.
It's not healthy.
Yes.
Thank you. Exactly. It's not healthy.
I'm not saying it is.
She basically, so that's kind of okay. So the book is called The Road to Unfreedom. Okay. It's a great book. I highly recommend it for anybody.
By the way, listeners, he just Googled that up real quick.
Yeah, I was trying to make sure.
He made me ramble on so he can do this.
I highly recommend it to anybody who's interested in Russia's politics, specifically Putin, all that stuff.
All right.
So the idea is that they don't believe that the truth is something that is important. It's not about the truth. Who cares about the truth? It's about what. It's not about truth. It's not about truth. It's about truthiness.
Oh,
yeah. You know who came out with that word?
Yes, I know who came out with that word.
Stephen Colbert came out with that word. And for our dear listeners, truthiness means something that is not necessarily true, but it feels true. Yeah, exactly. Deep down inside of you, like you know that this has the ring of truth, truthiness. Yeah, exactly. So that's what they did. And another leg in that, stool is the use of TV to keep you constantly distracted. And this is where the media comes in. Keeping you constantly distracted on stuff that's happening on a pop daily basis until you kind of lose track of the bigger issues that you need to worry about, the bigger things that are actually matter.
Yes.
So, and when you do that, this is when you become apathetic. This is when you become Russian, like poor Ivanka with her lack of hope. Is your name Ivanka? I don't know why I called her Ivanka.
Okay, Ivanka's not Russian, right?
It sounds Russian.
Truthiness, here we go. Yeah, well, anyway, see, I have all these doubts, right? Okay. And I also have this amazing hate.
Okay.
For a lot of journalists.
The hate is real.
The hate is real.
Okay.
And the hate is real for a reason. Like what I hate most of the time, like a lot of people tell me, like, yo, you don't get your news from outside. I'm like, yeah, I used to. I know where the news is if I want it, but I don't look for it. The reason I don't look for it is because everyone basically showed themselves for who they are. From the last 4 years, you can say, everyone showed their true colors, and we understand how everybody acts and how they move. We know who are the suckers, and we know who are the people who have their agendas. We know who are the people who are backed up by other people, and we understand this game now. So right now, when I get a news and saying, "Oh, Saudis think," like, okay, which Saudis think? Which Saudis do you know? Hey, yo, Bob from New York. Who Saudis are there? Like, did you meet them what in the street? 3 people? They speak on behalf of the whole country? Oh, one person's annoyed? Let's put them on blast and say, this is what Saudis feel and think. See, when you do that, then people like me, we catch you because we're the majority. You're trying to put us under a specific spotlight to make us look bad for the people around you. So like, oh, these people they're not like us. And when you do that, you create hate because I see what you're doing. I see how I'm being treated when I'm walking in the streets.
This is the politics of eternity. It's not about a problem today. No. So, okay, so I know we agreed not to get political. Okay, I know we agreed to do that. On this conversation, at least.
Okay.
But this is what happens when you stop saying, oh, this person has a mental problem, and you say, no, this person's religion is what making him do this. And that's a narrative that hasn't really been pushed directly, but the framing in the news media is basically what lands at people's heads. So it's when you talk about a terrorist, you talk about an Islamic terrorist. When you talk about a white boy shooting somebody up, you're talking about, somebody with a mental issue or somebody with a mental problem. This is the framing that I'm talking about.
I wish I coughed louder so we can just ignore that whole conversation. This is not what I'm getting at, bro. This is not what I'm getting at. This is an issue that you talk about from the last 20 years. We saw them play it out. We saw what's going on. We saw what they're happening. We saw what they're doing with our religion. This is something that we've known for a long, long time. I'm talking about when you specifically pick out a certain type of people or a certain country and you say, you know what? I'm going to put that spotlight to be this way. One of the things that I hate the most about us as Saudis is that people like us who can speak out loud are not actually speaking out loud. We're sitting back.
We're not used to.
It's not about, actually, no. We speak out loud when we see each other and when we see certain people. But we don't lash out loud. And the reason I'm getting to this is because I saw this post, that I'm not going to say where, so people stop searching and not knowing those other people. I mean, I love our listeners so much.
But please do
not. But yeah, like stop attacking people.
We're not trying to put anybody on blast here.
Yeah, seriously. Like, we're having conversations. Like, I understand that we all have we share the same feelings and vibes. But, leave those people alone. Alhamdulillah, nobody attacked anybody, but, they figured out some of the things that we said, where it's coming from and so on.
Not yet.
Anyways, so this person was talking about, why is it every time someone says something negative about Saudi to other Saudis and all of social media attack them and say, no, Saudi is an amazing place to live and so on, so on, so on. So I saw that. And I know there's a lot of Saudis that think that way. Like we want to be able to criticize. You can criticize. That's actually Saudis that are criticizing every single day on social media. But those Saudis figured out, you know what? I'm not going to speak in English. I'm speaking in Arabic because the majority of the country is Arabic. So there are circles on social media where actual Saudis are having deep intellectual conversations about local issues. You can find it if you're looking for it. You're not going to find it at the New York Times. You're not going to find it at the Washington Post. It's not for you. That's a weapon used against you. Currently, it's a weapon. I don't care. I know some of my friends are journalists listening to this right now, and I know y'all going to be annoyed by this. That's your business, not mine. You have your point of views. I have my point of views. It's being used as a weapon against us. They've been hitting us on the head every single time and mentioning the word Saudi as if everybody's on the same pot.
Well, that's the framing.
It's very disrespectful.
That's the framing. That's the framing.
So when I saw that, I understand why at this time specifically, we should be more positive. Because right now you're getting attacked.
We are positive.
No, I'm talking about us basically Saudis who speak in English and on social media and talk to a lot of people who are outside, even Arabs.
We see that's the messed up part.
Go ahead.
They don't want you to be positive, bro.
Of course
because
not.
positive is not what gets the clicks.
Of course not.
If it bleeds, it leads.
So we can't be online having intellectual conversations when we disagree on something and a troll comes in between us.
It's not even about that.
Because social media is not supposed to be used to have like deep actual conversations.
Nope.
Look, if like a lot of people follow me like, yo, why aren't you active on social media? I view social media different than everybody else. I don't see it the same way everybody sees. I'm not here to give you my life. I'm not here to give you my day-to-day and what I do. Even people who follow me on Snapchat, you follow me on Snapchat, all you get is my dogs running around and me like screaming or playing a song in the car. That's all you get from me.
You don't even get nothing from me.
That's what I mean. Yeah. We all use social media differently.
Like, I don't know. I kind of took a step back from social media a while, and I realized that I don't really owe anybody my life to share it on social media.
See, we understand that. But
some people
don't have that kind of access. When we were talking about relationships last week, about being friends with females and so on.
Mm-hmm.
Some people don't have that where they can go in a circle mixed between different people and have these conversations. So they're like, okay, I don't know where it is because those social classes or those people have their own bubbles that they live in. Not bubbles, but their own squad that they talk in between where they can trust and be more open to discuss. They can't find it, so they search for it online.
And that's actually one of the subjects, like one of the things that I want to talk about, like how people locally have used the online space to be themselves and express themselves for good and for bad, in both ways. But going back to what you were saying.
Now go ahead. You decided to cut me off for no reason. And I'm giving you the space so you can lose your mind.
No, but see, that's the thing. Like when it comes to online expression and us being positive, people out there don't really want to hear about what's going on positive because I don't care. I want to hear about the negative because it's sensational. But
it kills. It kills. Do you know why? For a long, long time. See, here's the thing. Like, you didn't get abused like I did growing up as Saudi and as a Muslim living abroad. All right? You didn't get that abuse. You didn't get the abuse from both worlds. From one world that's asking you to be pure Saudi and one world that say, yo, man, who are you? And you're stuck as a child between two worlds trying to find yourself. And then you come up with this little center section and then you get abused from one side, either it's your religion or it's your race or whatever it is. There's so many sides you can stab that. And then when you find a ground where you're like, yo, I'm stable. Right now, I see bright days ahead of me. Oh, you know what? No. Let's hit them some more. Let's go at them some more.
You get attacked from the other side.
You get attacked from the other side.
Which is criticizing what?
Criticizing, no matter, I'm not going to be specific on my life, but I'm saying you're always going to be attacked. And that's the problem that we have right now. I'm not here in the mood to have conversations about how we can fix every single detail of the country online. There's people who do that. There's actual ministries you can go to and apply and give them your thoughts and your opinions and so on. But being online, trying to just go and say, oh, let's go criticize for the sake of criticizing, you just get picked up. If you go stay positive, people don't like your positivity, then fuck them. I'm still going to be positive because someone has to pick it up. Someone has to.
No, but sure.
I'm not saying that it has to be us, but someone has to pick it up and actually put our name in a good light. Because all of us, we're lazy. The majority of us, we're waiting on the government to do things for us. Make us look good out there. Bro, get up. Get up. And the Lisan, get up. You know you love your day. You love your country. You love your parents. You love your tradition. You love your culture. You love all of that. Go ahead and say it out loud, man. Why are you scared? Why are you scared? Why? Because some asshole in New York is attacking you?
No, but I do feel
some dick in France is attacking you.
I do feel
some fool in the UK is attacking you. Fuck them all. You got bigger balls than all of them. You're stronger than all of them. You're smarter than most of them. You know you can do better than all of them.
Balls and ovaries.
Equality.
No, but for real, like I do feel we do have a few people who do fit that role, and just by it's not. Listen, Anna, for me, it's not about going out and speaking positively and trying to push a certain agenda as much as you being you and that person who you are. That speaks a testament to where you come from, your country, your education, your background, all of that. Yani, I imagine people like Msha'al Shmemri, mashallah alayha, who's an aerospace engineer and who worked with NASA and who flies planes. As a Saudi woman who grew up in Saudi and was able to go and do all of that, she is a walking positive billboard for Saudi Arabia that you cannot even pay for. You cannot. This is.
There's a Twitter account called First Saudi, I think.
Okay.
Which like puts
like shout out to my aerospace engineer brethren.
It's the same thing. This account shouts out all the Saudis who did great things abroad and internationally, even locally, on an international level. Whether it's with universities or jobs or whatever, medicine, whatever it is. There's that. But that's something totally different than what we're doing here. That is something that if I say, oh yeah, she's the first Saudi to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, me and you will be proud. Me and you will be proud. What the majority gonna do? Oh, there goes my phone.
What are they gonna do?
See, my phone knows the new iPhone's coming out. It knows. It's like, you know, I'm gonna crack your screen.
Shuf, I get your point. You want people to go and speak out positively. I agree. I would love for people.
I want them to speak about exactly how they feel. Yes, some people are not happy, but most of the people that are not happy, let's all be honest, it has to do with your family, not your country.
Shuf,
I love how you inhaled for a second and took a step back.
Maybe 5 years ago, I would agree with those people, but I feel today.
No. Okay, that's a very strong statement. I know you so well, so let's not. You would agree. Say you'd agree with those people. You would understand.
I would understand.
There we
exactly.
go.
I would understand their problems.
Look at me protecting you.
But see, that's it.
Like a little child. My little pony.
It's all about. Screw you. It's all about empathy, man. So it's all about me looking and seeing how you see the world out of your eyes. I understand why you might have a problem. Today, I feel a lot of the barriers that were put in place for a long time have been removed. I hope so. Maybe I'm not as aware as other people, but I really do hope so that that's the case. At the same time, I was once upon a time a very negative person. You know this.
Once upon a time? How about like a couple of hours ago?
Once upon a time. I was an extremely negative person.
Once upon a time.
But then...
Hold on, let me ask these little monkeys on the wall. Yeah, do y'all see this? All right, keep going.
But then I realized that negativity never really takes you anywhere. It really does not really take you anywhere. It keeps you on your toes, maybe, a little bit of it. But too much of it, you wallow in it, and then where do you go?
You stay in it.
Exactly, you stay in it. And it's just a deep, dark well of darkness that...
And it shows on your face.
Exactly. It's a,
It shows in your face, it shows in your behavior.
And it affects how you view the world. Now, if you change the way you look at things, if you change your perspective and start looking at things positively, bruh, the whole world like lights up and way and like, ha, ha, ha. like I'm not even kidding, man. So it's just... And it's not easy. It's not something easy to do.
No one said it was easy.
Yeah, it's not. It really isn't, and it requires an active effort for you to shift your perspective from a negative one to a positive one.
And sometimes it's hard to believe, like the same way that everybody was in shock how we kept changing as a country, and everybody like didn't believe it's true. Like, is it really true that we can go to these events and go to these places?
So the point I want to make here is, at the end of the day, if you're looking for negative, you're always gonna find negative because it's so much easier to destroy something than it is to build something.
But don't feed into it though. At the same time, don't shy out. Let me tell you, one of the worst moments that I ever had, I was with a bunch of guys. I think at that time we were in Australia. So it was a time when I was living in Australia, not visiting. So when we were there was basically we're all Saudi. And this dude came to us. He's like, oh, where you guys from? Everybody said Dubai. And I'm like, okay, that sounds hilarious. Where you from? No, I'm Saudi. I got a weird look.
I've been with a few people who do that.
So guy left. I'm like, yo, fellas, what's going on? None of y'all from Dubai. He was like, well, one guy gave me the line of, you know what?
It's much easier.
It's much easier to tell them a place that they already know.
Yeah, exactly.
And just get that out of my head.
I want to have that conversation. Like,
that killed me. That killed me. I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of my parents. I'm proud of my grandparents, my ancestors, my hometown. I am proud. I grew up abroad. I shouldn't have this pride. I shouldn't. Look, I have two memories.
But maybe
I have two memories. I'm gonna tell you. Look, I have two memories. Okay, I have memories when I first moved to the States. I was a child. I don't remember how old I was. I was a baby. I just remember looking outside the window, and like,
yo, this is different.
no. This is me just leaving. I remember I was leaving Saudi. We were taking off. And I remember looking outside the window, I'm like, I'm going to miss this place. I was a kid. I don't know nothing. Then I went to the States. My eyes opened up. Being a kid in the States, seeing the world in color, it's ridiculous.
Living in the big city.
Big cities. And like different, like from the east to the west to the south and all these different things happening. And like you grow into it. But when I came back with that mentality of, you know what? I lived a better life. And I had that mentality. You know what I thought? I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back to my Muslim brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
This is what I was thinking. I wasn't visiting. I don't know what's going on. Came here. It was a shock. But the one thing that never left me was that love and pride that I have. It never left me. Even though I grew up in different circumstances to a lot of people, but that thing is embedded in me. I have it in my heart. I got nothing. No one gave me nothing. No one handed me nothing. No one said, here, because you're this, I'm going to give you nothing. But it's inside of me. And it kills when I hear people saying, you know what? No, I'm from Dubai. Yo, all shout out respect to the Emirat. We are one. We're brothers. Y'all are cousins. Y'all are brothers and sisters.
Sometimes you just don't want to have a conversation with somebody. Like,
Again, I understand I want to have a conversation, but I can still tell you who I am without having a conversation with you.
Sure, true.
So saying, well, I'm taking a shortcut when you're really not. Because the second he said Dubai, the guy was like, oh, tell me about Dubai. And we had to sit there for like 20 minutes of bullshit conversation. Dubai Mall, parking lot.
Like, I'm supposed to use that line to get out of
Club
the conversation.
20 or whatever the fuck the club name.
Yes, Dubai. I know Dubai. Dubai is great.
And then you have a conversation about Dubai and you only know like 3 streets and like 1 club.
I don't even know that 1 club, bro.
Oh, look at you. So cute and sweet.
I'm not a fan of Dubai.
All right. I'm not a fan of Dubai. Yeah. I'm not a fan of Dubai for a reason. I'm not a fan of Dubai because I'm not going to say it's an artificial city.
I'm a fan of the Emirates. I'm not a fan of Dubai.
I can visit the city anytime. I cannot live in the city. Again, I had that feeling everywhere because it was never home.
Somebody asked me this question a couple of days ago. He was like, why haven't you lived and moved? Isn't it for you much easier? Because they know my situation. Okay. They're like, isn't it for you much easier? And I'm like, yeah, but no. No. What the hell are you talking about? No. Like, a
lot of people told me, like, yo, man, how about you go work abroad and get a visa to some other country and live there? Like, you can do much better. Like, yeah, man, I can't wait to go get that gas station for 5 years to get that green card. And I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm straight. I'm happy.
Exactly. Like,
I'm happy. I'm happy. I mean, look at it. Looking back from back then till today, how we reshaped. Look, I'm gonna be very honest. I'm gonna be like, a lot of people are gonna think one way or another. I don't really care, to be honest. We never really care about people's opinions. And at the same time, we're not saying that you have to care about ours either. No, you don't. But I think there should be a bigger push for Saudi speaking positively about Saudi and pushing that Saudi agenda of us, who we are, not what people say who we are. I'm going to take back the word agenda because I don't think it's an agenda. It's just revealing.
I think people, and for me, I look at it a little bit differently. I just want people to go out and be themselves. And when you are...
People are going out and be themselves now, which is amazing.
But it's not being... not holding back, not being shy, not being...
No, holding back and shy, that's actually a good conversation that we had. And I think the problem with that is it's something new that needs getting used to.
I know.
Because let's keep in mind, like some people, they want to go have a conversation, but they're afraid for their cousins to see them be like
and
that.
I've had something very similar to this happen a couple of days ago. I was giving somebody a great opportunity, something that relates to my work. And I was telling them, hey, you're going to be out there and people are going to see you and it's going to be great. And they got scared and they're like, no, I don't want people to see. But
Shams, I love when you tell us stories without any information.
I cannot.
And we don't, then why are you telling me the story, man? But I'm out here saying, like, what the hell is he saying, bro?
I'm agreeing with the point that sometimes people are still afraid of what society can say to them.
Say about them.
So that's why they hold back. And I feel like
that is true.
Yeah, and I feel
I'm not gonna say
and
that's
that was the point. That was literally the point. And I feel like today, alhamdulillah, things have progressed. Exactly, things have progressed.
Me and you on the same line, bro. Same line.
Like opportunities are popping up, and like I feel like I keep repeating the same tape, but yo, just go and do.
Because it's still amazing.
Yeah,
it's still amazing
and
to
we're
see.
doing it.
Yeah, it's still amazing to see.
Look at us, podcasting, talking to the worlds.
Talking to the worlds.
Yes,
we got 10 listeners, and number 3 is still angry.
Nope. We've got tens and tens of listeners.
We still got 10.
And
Listener number 3 is still angry about the last episode.
You think so?
I think he's gonna be angry the whole time.
I think they miss Ray Romano.
Oh. All right. Since you said that, let's screw something up.
Yeah.
Okay, so we do listen to everybody's comments. We see everybody's comments, but we record in a different way. So sometimes we don't get to people's comments, but we do hear ya. We do listen. Wouldn't take any of them into consideration, I think.
No, but Bax, I love hearing what everybody thinks.
Exactly. I mean, this is not for us to give you our point of view of things. This is us just having a conversation like we usually do. This is something that we've been doing for like over 10, 11 years or something like that. We just sit down, we have actual conversation about things happening, and we keep it open for everyone to make their own resolution of the problem or whatever it is.
And we disagree all day long.
Oh yeah, there's definitely.
But the love is there, the hate is there.
Yeah, the hate has to be
the
there.
hate is
we're going
existing,
nobody.
And we're just giving y'all a window and insight.
And I want to going back to the whole news media thing about it being an influence or reflection. It's a pure influence. It's not a reflection of shit.
Oh, you thought, yeah, okay.
No, I'm just giving you my point of view because I want to hear your point of view on it, and
Right.
I think we agree on most things.
More majorly.
Yeah, and it is an influence, and I'm one guy that's gonna call it out. If you say, especially you local journalists, if you say Saudis think, then I expect you to have a great following of Saudis or talking to a lot of Saudis, because your co-workers and some guy down the street that you had coffee with, that's not the guy. He doesn't speak on my behalf.
Abu Abdullah يقول.
All right, okay. That is nasty. You know what? I'm had enough of this. I had enough of this. Seriously, انت ابو عبد الله يقول لك
يقول
Where's my phone?
ماذا يقول أبو عبد الله؟ إنه يتحدث عن محل التميس. We miss you, Terks. Come back to us soon.
Yeah, man, I swear to God, I miss Terks.
And by the way,
Allah يسلمك.
the sal'a and the lam'a is available for
Adil is not available for shit.
green paint on his lam'a sal'a.
I'm gonna tell you this. Look. I just opened up my phone.
Okay.
I'm gonna show you some of the things I get.
So much hate.
No. Listen, wifey material doesn't need good looks. She needs a brain to raise your kids. Now I don't know who is this ugly motherfucker that's saying me that.
Wait, what?
I don't know what's the conversation.
Where'd that
I
come
don't
from?
know. Just literally, I just opened up and I just read this. So I don't know if I said something about a wifey like a couple of podcasts ago and someone having kids and brains. I have no idea. Let me read to you again. Wifey material doesn't need good looks. She needs a brain to raise your kids.
Bruh, you need good genes. And good genes come with good looks. Because if I have some ugly ass kids, nobody gonna marry my ugly ass kids.
You got some ugly ass genes. I'm
just saying. I want my kids to be fine looking.
I'm sorry. I just gotta hate on you.
I want them to have healthy bloodlines.
Oh my God, bloodlines.
Family trees that extend into eons and eons.
You know what we need to start? We need to start trash award of the week.
Like I have that. Okay, we will do that. We
need to do the trash award of the week. I have another conversation that I really want to have, but I want to keep for later on. And it's focused mostly on guys, and I want to do it not the next podcast. Maybe the one after.
Bro,
that.
are we not done? I think we're done.
Are we always?
Peace.
This is the problem.